welcome to the second edition of Founders Memorial Talk 2023, celebrating the legacy of the architect of excellence. Founder Memorial Series, lovingly facilitated by SAI International, is a celebration that pays homage to the vision, dedication, commitments of our founder chairman, late Dr. Bijaya Kumar Sahoo. Founder Memorial Series serves as a poignant reminder of our revered founder chairman, who holds a special place in every pioneer's heart. It's a matter of great honor and pride to have Dr. Shilpi Sahoo, Chairperson, SAI International, in our midst today. An embodiment of motherly tenderness and genuineness, Dr. Sahoo is the culmination of a mentor, torchbearer, and educator who firmly believes in enabling each student to develop a strong shape of being through her knowledge, patience, and love. Her laudable efforts lead to the profuse blossoming of inherent talent and confidence, thus adding new dimensions to the holistic development of each student. Without further ado, let me take the opportunity of humbly inviting Chairperson, SAI International Education Group, Dr. Shilpi Sahoo, to kindly address the gathering. Ma'am, please.
Namaskar and a very good morning. Esteemed guest speaker of Founders Memorial Series, Shri Devdutt Pattanaik, respected parents, guests, friends from print and electronic media, and my dear Pioneers. My life's mission is to carry forward the work of our founder chairman and provide the best quality education in the country to our Pioneers. In the short life that our founder chairman lived, he touched several thousand lives. Over the next many years, we as a SAI family, we will take this forward and continue to play a role in building the future of young leaders of Odisha and India. Thank you everyone for being an indispensable part of the SAI family. As he would always say, let's build a better India through education. Thank you and namaskar.
Now may I call on stage the member of the Founder's Office of SAI International Group, Vikram Aditya Sahoo, reminiscing the founder, late Dr. Bijaya Kumar Sahoo.
Namaskar to everyone present here today. When you were born, you cried while the world rejoiced. Live your life in such a way that when you die, you rejoice while the world cries. My father would often quote this line from Robin Sharma's book as we were growing up. I never understood the significance of this line. But as I walked into that auditorium on the 3rd of June 2021 and watched thousands of people cry as my father's lifeless body lay on that very stage, I finally understood what he had meant when he had said that line over the years. My father left the world that day, but as Mr. Subrito Bagchi had once said, he left but with victory. I was barely 25 when I lost my father. But every time I speak to God after my father's passing, I never complain about it. I never complained to Baba that he took away the biggest pillar of support in my life before my life could even start. I never complained to him that he took him away so soon. I thank him instead for giving me Papa. Because in just 25 years, my father gave me memories and taught me lessons that I'll carry with me for the remaining 60 years of my life. And in these 25 years, my father taught me how to be the best son to your parents, how to be the best husband to your wife, how to be the best friend to your children, and most importantly, how to be a role model for thousands. Before I got onto the stage today, I promised Papa that I won't cry while speaking about him today. Because for every single thing he did for me, for my family, and for the thousands of children in Odisha, his life is only worth celebrating, not crying over.
Thank you, Vikram. You promised not to cry, but you made everyone cry and emotional here. May I request Chairperson Dr. Silpi Sahu and Senior Principal Shri Nilakanta Panigrahi to kindly come up on the stage to give away the most coveted prizes. So without any further delay, may I humbly invite Shri Devdutt Pattanaik for the most awaited Founders Memorial Talk on the topic Happy Minds and Bright Futures. Sir, please.
But today I would like to talk about my subject, which I have been working on for the last 25 years. It's called mythology. And the role it plays in happiness and in human relationships and in our understanding of the world. So it's important to understand this word mythology, and I will take you on a journey, and I'll raise the bar a bit, make it a little complex, because I want people to understand, students to understand, next generation, teachers to understand this very, very subtle and powerful topic that can change your life completely. So what is mythology? So let me take you on a journey. The word mythology came into being in the 19th century. We are today in the 21st century. In the 19th century, the meaning of this word was very different. Today, the meaning is very different. When people use the word mythology around me, one thing I realized, they are still stuck in the 19th century. They have not moved forward to the 21st century. So let us understand, what does this word mean? What did it mean in the 19th century, and what does it mean in the 21st century? Right? So let's go back to what is 19th century. When we say 19th century, what do we mean by that? We mean a time when the world was controlled by kings, by monarchs, and we were part of an empire. And the king told us what is right and what is wrong, what is true and what is false. The king decided everything. So you looked at the king, and the king told, this is true, this is false, this is right, this is wrong. The British Empire controlled most of the world in the 19th century. But in the 21st century, we do not talk about kings and emperors and empires or colonies. We talk about democracies. We talk about nation states. In a democracy, who decides what is true? Does the king decide? But there is no king. Does the politician decide? Does the educationist decide? Does the scientist decide? Do men decide? Do women decide? Do activists decide? Do revolutionaries decide? Who decides what is true? And we must understand this, that we now live in a very different world compared to the 19th century.
Good morning, sir. So you talked about subjective truth and objective truth. Of the two, which one dominates human psyche today, and what has been its impact on gross human happiness?
So happiness is a subjective state. So happiness is always a function of subjectivity, not objectivity. Remember this one rule. Happiness is not, nobody can measure happiness. Those people who measure happiness are lying. That's a lie. You cannot measure happiness. What you can measure is resources, you can measure power, you can measure knowledge, you can measure information. That you can measure. And that has value because it will help you understand how much wealth is generated, how is wealth distributed. It has a great value. It's the Excel sheet. It is the PowerPoint presentation. But ultimately, poetry, you can read poetry, but the beauty of poetry is always going to be subjective. So I believe that while objective reality is important for passing exams, if you want 100 out of 100 in math, you better know your objective marks. If you want to be successful in your career, you need to understand objectivity. But if you want to be happy, you need to understand subjectivity. Yeah? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you once again to all the presence, support and participation in this Founders Memorial Talk. Let us continue to work together to realize the dream of happy minds and bright future for all our students. Thank you to all of you and thanks.